Hello again, and welcome to this week's edition of SCLC TV. I'm Maynard, Eaton, your host, and I'm joined, of course, by our president and CEO, Dr. Charles Steele Jr. We're doing this remotely. It's the way of the world right now, Doc. Isn't that so?
Yes, sir. We're in SCLC mode for the future.
Dr. Steele, just last week, the headline in the news was COVID-19 was decimating Black communities and poor communities across the country. Now, just a week later, plans are to reopen the country. In the past words of Michael Jackson, some might say they don't really care about us. Do you see something untoward about this?
Well, the history is not repeating itself. It never left. We have been discriminated against since coming here from the African slave trade over 400 years ago. And what's so redundant about this, Maynard, is the fact that we have many people who run from this discussion. And I'm never going to run from it in terms of the three ills in society: racism, poverty, militaristic. And this is what Dr. King talked about. And it's raising its ugly head now more than it did 50 years ago. Matter of fact, we have lost grounds. We don't have any finances. There are many businesses that would not reopen. And when the country catch a cold, people of color catch pneumonia. And now we catch COVID-19.
Some popular rap artist, I'm not going to mention his name, said that there's an open season on people who look like you and look like me. Has this become a disease, a pandemic that's poisoning us, attacking us more so?
Well, it is. And I fall short in saying it's a conspiracy. But I do relish the fact that you have to have courage in order to stand up against this system. And when I say this system, not just America, but the global village, all over the world. And many of people just consume themselves with the fact that I can live in America and not be concerned about the rest of the world. People don't care, man. And at this particular time in our society, as I said before in quoting Dr. King, silence in the face of evil is evil itself. And if you go to church on Sunday morning, you don't talk about the fact that racism is destroying the fabric of this world and ultimately of the United States of America, who is supposed to be the leading country in the Industrial Revolution. Let me bring to your attention. It is a shame that we have to go to China to get the masses that we need to protect ourselves, the personal protection equipment like gowns, aprons, gloves. We can't manufacture this in America. And we say we're so intelligent. I refuse to accept that. And I say that it is time for people to open their mouths and speak and support it measures in terms of the racism and the going backwardness of this country, and particularly the attack upon the financial institution of people of color.
Well, in Atlanta alone, where we are, the governor has opened nail salons, hair salons, bowling alleys, massage parlors. Some suspect that's where people of color and poor people either work or frequent. Does that seem deliberate to you?
Man, you broke up. You need to say your question again. I couldn't hear it. It was scrambling.
I'm saying, does that seem deliberate, the kind of businesses that are being reopened where poor people frequent the most?
Well, the service industry, as you know, is geared toward people of color. And it's not enough recognition given to the grocery maintenance workers, the hospital maintenance workers. They are risking their lives to keep it clean and the sanitary confinement of what they do. And we applaud all of the medical staff, not just the doctors and the nurses and the health providers themselves, but the maintenance workers. It's a team, and you cannot exist one without the other. And I want to applaud them today on this show in terms of those who clean the shelves and those who at the cashier registers. We couldn't make it without them. Those who are mopping the floors, not only in the grocery store, but in the hospitals and the healthcare facilities. Those people are very significant. The job that relate to sanitation and the sanitizing of keeping the community clean, like the garbage workers, the transportation bus systems, in terms of their transforming themselves to risk their lives and maybe to go home and spread it to their families or maybe not make it home. I want to applaud them.
Today, I'm told that Congress is supposed to be voting on additional funds for small businesses. That's been a real concern to you, since it's been awfully difficult, if not impossible, for civil rights groups like ours to get a piece of that federal money. Where are we now? What's your concern now?
Well, I mean, I said earlier, the collaboration of conveying the money and transforming the money to the people that needs it. And you can go as far back as 2008, when we had what is called the Great Recession. And my Lord knows we are in a depression now. And we need to understand that this system would not yield to those who need it in the categorization of the status and the classification of people in today's society of helping poor people. This system has never helped those who are less fortunate than others. Matter of fact, it's criminal now to be considered poor. They will put you in jail. I got a copy of a letter from a young person, a young lady, the other day, who said she rents from her apartment. And the renter, who actually sent and conveyed the message that we're in sympathy with you and your family during these times. We know it's hard because of COVID-19, but we still expect your rent. What kind of letter is that? You're not even in a compromising position when you can approach the landlord or the property owner who owns these apartments and say, I might pay half or a third of my rent this month, but I'll catch it up in the next 2 or 3 months. Give me a break. I need to put food on the table. I need to clothe my children. I need gas in my automobile. The renter, the landowner, the landlord said, we sympathize with you, but we're expecting that rent. We are insensitive to the needs of people. This country is relishing of the fact and showing and raising its ugly head that they don't care about the people.
What's happening now, in your estimation, with the funds for small businesses, black businesses, and organizations like ours? Are we on the short end of the stick? In fact, some major companies are giving money back, right? Because they feel bad.
Yeah, actually one company, Shake and Steak, I think, housed out of New York, with 8,000 employees. Can I repeat that? 8,000 employees. And this particular project, the payroll protection plan, is to take care of small businesses, moms and pops. How can you bring about an opportunity with folks who have over 50 different outlets around this country, and we don't even have 50 employees, but they have 50 outlets and 8,000 employees. We don't even have 20 employees. The money's supposed to be going to small businesses. But you know what the mistake was, Maynard? They turned the money over to the banking industry as well as the Small Business Administration. I don't have to know you. I can just follow the track record of who you are. The Small Business Administration should not have gotten involved with this. It should have been nonprofits collaborating with the federal government, because the SBA has a history of denying people of color or hands up or trying to bring about the upward mobility or entrepreneurship with people of color. They have always denied the majority of applications. That is not right, it's not equitable, and it's not fair.
What's happening with the plight of nonprofit organizations? Are they being left out as well?
Well, many of them are going to go out of business. Thank God we're still in business. And right. Man, if you have the mindset of an organization at this particular time, small entrepreneurial businesses or nonprofit businesses, they're all businesses. You have to understand and have vision within the business of what you do to understand that you have to be creative. Many people don't have the ability and lack the courage to be non-traditional and being creative. What are you talking about, Steele? Well, those friends that you had 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 3 years ago, who helped and bought your products, or who supported your business financially, those friends are not there anymore. You know why? Right. Because they are struggling. They are struggling. Right. We all are struggling. Even though they're big businesses and they support you, they can't afford to take a chance on you anymore. What are you going to do as a nonprofit and a small business without closing and shutting down your doors? First of all, I just think whatever employees that's still on the payroll or any small business or nonprofit, you need to pick up that phone right now and thank the leadership and the administration of that organization for keeping you on the payroll. I did earlier today. I did that earlier today. Thank you, sir. You are my press secretary, and you are still on the payroll.
Is this your biggest challenge, Dr. Steele? You've been through a civil rights movement, Alabama State Senator. Is this your biggest challenge as a leader?
No, it's not. Because as an individual, when you're a leader, every day is a challenge to you. This is just another day at the office. Thank God I've been in this position before, not globally, but individually. When you're broke, Maynard, you're broke. And I thank God for the brokenness that I had, because it trained me and institutionalized me of brokenness to let me know how I can keep from being broke again. And I prayed to God many a times and said, you get me out the back seat of this car, and my wife don't know it, and I'm sleeping in the parking lot of this hotel. And when she called, she said, where are you? I said, I'm at the hotel, but I don't say in the parking lot. Because I had to grow, I had to build, I had to educate, and most importantly, I had to have that time with God. Oh, my Lord. God and I had some conversations. No, this is not fearful to me. This is not the worst challenge as a leader that I've had before. It's just another day at the office. Because you know what, Mr. Eaton? Life itself is a challenge.
Do you tell others you encounter that? Do you tell your friends, those who are scared, those outside the door of our office? You give them hope and courage? I mean, it is a ministering in you naturally. Are you finding yourself having to lift the spirits of others now through your leadership?
Well,
and your faith?
Every time my staff get a paycheck, that I lift their spirit. How do I know? Yes. One of them told me, and you one of the ones that told me that you appreciate it. You thank me for it. I will never go as a president of any organization, and any president or leader in an organization, I think if they're serious about what they do, they would think just like me. I would never let my people go without what they need as a staff, with the necessities that their family needs. So my wife and I have already come to the conclusion. We have our immediate family, and we're here for them, but we also have our extended family. But at the end of the day, it's all family, and we're going to do what we can to provide.
Finally, sir, what do you say to those who are suffering, those who don't have a paycheck coming in? How do you uplift their spirits today? Those who hear this, those who are hurting financially and struggling, and those who are afraid. What words of encouragement do you have for the least of these?
Well, first of all, let me just say this. I sleep very good at night. I don't have no nightmares. I don't wake up. This is my story and conveyance to them. When I wake up every morning, God has blessed me with a sound mind, and physically have no problems, no situation that will not allow me to get up and go wherever I need to go with my mask on, with the faith of God. When you can sleep at night, I mean, straight through the night, I sleep. And when I wake up, I said, thank you, God, for the sleep. And you know why I'm able to do it? And it came to me just a few months ago. I'm able to do it because I have faith. I have faith. When you can't sleep through the night, it's because you don't have faith. I don't have no interruption in my sleep. But occasionally I have to wake up to go to the restroom, to take on my human responsibility. But most time, God bless me with that. I can sleep through all of that and still be able to have faith with a smile on my face, and not, as you know, Maynard, not just supplying for myself and my family, us four and no more, but supplying for the community, the staff, the world, the globalization of giving folks hope. And what I experience, when I exhibit that and that strong spirit that God gave me, it's a gift. And the courageousness that God gives me to tell the truth and speak truth to power, that's a gift from God. And every time I do it, I get a fill up. Let me just say this. In terms of motivation.
You're preaching now, sir.
Motivation. Yeah, I got to preach for 30 seconds. A little preacher. Most of us say that we want to be inspired and motivated. Inspiration is a must, and motivation. You must be motivated to get to your goal. I wake up go to bed with motivation, inspiration. Wake up with motivation, inspiration. That's what's going to get you to your goal. But you know what the vehicle is? And watch me now. Inspiration, motivation. But you got to sit on a vehicle to get to the destination. And the vehicle is persistency. Too many people don't possess persistence. You wake up every morning chipping away. You don't go to the top overnight. I haven't been to the top where I want to be and hope I'll never get there, because I need that drive to always try to get there. And as I try to get there, I get higher and higher. I'll meet you on the mountaintop when it all comes to reaching my destination. And we all can get there. But that's what motivated and motivates Charles Steele.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been SCLC TV. I'm Maynard Eaton. You've been listening to the sermon and the truth from our president, Dr. Charles Steele Jr. See you next week.